of America, with its rich and diverse history, is home to an extraordinary array of historical sites that tell the story of the nation's past. From grand national monuments to preserved battlefields and humble homes of great leaders, each place provides a view of the cultural, political, and social evolution of the country. Administered and preserved in large part by the National Park Service, NPS, these historical landmarks not only educate, but also inspire millions of visitors each year. National landmarks and monuments. Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, New York. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of American freedom. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France in 1886 and stands as a beacon for liberty and democracy. Located in New York Harbor, it has welcomed millions of immigrants arriving in the United States. Just nearby is Ellis Island, which served as the busiest immigration inspection station from 1892 to 1954. Over 12 million immigrants passed through here, making it a deeply emotional and historical location for many American families. Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. This massive sculpture carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota features the faces of 4 U.S. presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Mount Rushmore represents the ideals of freedom, democracy, and the American dream. It was completed in 1941 after 14 years of work and remains a popular destination for both its artistry and symbolic significance. Lincoln Memorial and Washington Monument, Washington, D.C. The Lincoln Memorial, with its grand Greek temple design and a giant seated statue of Abraham Lincoln, commemorates the 16th president's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War and promoting liberty. Nearby, the Washington Monument, a towering obelisk, honors George Washington, the first president and father of the country. Both sites are part of the National Mall and are central to America's national identity. Independence National Historical Park, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, known as America's most historic square mile. This park includes Independence Hall, where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were debated and adopted. Bell, a symbol of American independence, draws visitors from around the world. Philadelphia's role as the nation's first capital and the cradle of democracy is captured perfectly within this park. Battlefields and military sites. Gettysburg National Military Park, Pennsylvania. The Battle of Gettysburg, fought in 1863, was a crucial turning point in the Civil War. The park preserves the battlefield and numerous monuments dedicated to the soldiers who fought and died there. It is also the site of President Lincoln's famous Gettysburg Address, which redefined the purpose of the war and the nation itself. Pearl Harbor National Memorial, Hawaii. This site commemorates the surprise Japanese attack on December 7, 1941, which led to the United States' entry into World War II. The memorial includes the USS Arizona Memorial, built above the sunken battleship, and serves as a solemn tribute to the 2,403 Americans who lost their lives. It stands as a stark reminder of the cost of war and the importance of preparedness. The Alamo, San Antonio, Texas, a symbol of Texan courage and independence. The Alamo was the site of a fierce battle in 1836 between Mexican forces and Texan revolutionaries. Though the Texans were defeated, their bravery inspired others to continue the fight, ultimately leading to Texas's independence. The phrase, "Remember the Alamo," remains a rallying cry for bravery and resistance. Other notable historic sites. Mount Vernon, Virginia, George Washington's home and plantation, offers a glimpse into the private life of the first U.S. president. Located along the Potomac River, Mount Vernon includes restored buildings, gardens, and Washington's tomb. It helps visitors understand the complexities of Washington's leadership, personal life, and his views on slavery and nation building. Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia, this living history museum recreates life in an 18th century American town. Actors in period costume portray real historical figures, allowing visitors to witness colonial-era politics, trades, and daily routines. Williamsburg was once the capital of the Virginia colony and played a key role in early American governance and education. Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park, Atlanta, Georgia. This site includes Dr. King's birth home, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he preached, and his final resting place. It honors the life and legacy of the civil rights leader who led nonviolent protests against racial inequality and helped change the course of American history. The park serves as both a tribute and a call to continue the work for justice. Mesa Verde National Park, Colorado. Unlike many man-made historical sites, Mesa Verde preserves the ancient cliff dwellings of the ancestral Puebloans, who lived in the area from approximately 600 to 1300 CE. These dwellings, built into canyon walls, reveal the advanced architecture, community life, and cultural achievements of Native American civilizations long before European contact. Historical preservation in the USA. The National Historic Landmarks, NHL program, managed by the National Park Service, NPS, plays a critical role in identifying and preserving America's most important historical places. These landmarks are recognized in national significance, while the National Register of Historic Places, NRHP, includes over 80,000 properties significant at the local or state level. The process of designation involves rigorous criteria. Properties can be public or private, but once listed, they benefit from tax incentives, grants, monitoring, and preservation efforts. While owners may object to designation, the Secretary of the Interior can still recognize a site as eligible, ensuring it is noted and valued for historical purposes. New York leads the nation in NHL designations, with 270, and New York City alone accounts for 114 of those. Other cities with large numbers include Philadelphia and Boston, each with their own deep historical roots. Some designations extend beyond the 50 states, including locations in Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Pacific territories, reflecting America's broader historical footprint. Interestingly, the American legation in Tangier, Morocco, is also an NHL. It was the first American public property overseas and represents early U.S. diplomacy. Conclusion. From the colonial towns and presidential homes to Civil War battlegrounds and sites of civil rights struggle, the historical places of the United States offer profound insights into the nation's journey. These landmarks are more than just tourist destinations. They are living narratives that connect past with present. Through preservation efforts by the National Park Service and programs like the NHL and NRHP, the U.S. ensures that its history remains accessible, honored, and protected for future generations. Each site, whether symbolizing freedom like the Statue of Liberty, remembrance like Gettysburg, resistance like the Alamo, or progress like MLK's Atlanta birthplace, is a chapter in America's vast, ongoing story. Exploring these places is not just about learning history, it's about understanding the identity and values of a nation shaped by countless individuals and events.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others can the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Adventure World. I am listening, making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
The History and Geography of Georgia, created by Admin Sonny for educational purpose only to grow your knowledge about the world. Introduction. The country of Georgia is a small but historically rich nation located at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia, nestled in the South Caucasus region. Despite its modest size, Georgia's history is deeply fascinating, stretching back thousands of years to the prehistoric era. It has been shaped by powerful kingdoms, foreign invasions, golden ages, and modern struggles for independence. Alongside its history, Georgia also boasts breathtaking landscapes, diverse climates, rich flora and fauna, and a vibrant culture that reflects centuries of interaction with neighboring civilizations. This article will explore Georgia's story in detail, from ancient kingdom to the modern republic, while also highlighting its geography, people, and environment. Ancient Georgia, prehistory, 4th century AD. The lands of present-day Georgia hold some of the earliest evidence of human civilization. Archaeological discoveries reveal winemaking. Georgia is often called the birthplace of wine, with evidence of winemaking dating back over 8,000 years. Gold and textiles. Ancient mines and weaving tools prove the region was advanced in metallurgy and fabric production. By the classical era, two important kingdoms emerged. One, Colchis, located in the fertile Colchida lowland, famous for the Greek myth of Jason and the Argonauts seeking the golden fleece. Two, Iberia, Kartli, situated in eastern Georgia, playing a crucial role in shaping the Georgian national identity. A turning point came in the early 4th century, when Georgia became one of the very first countries in the world to adopt Christianity as the state religion. This faith bound the Georgian people together and influenced their language, literature, and culture for centuries. Unified Georgian Kingdom and Golden Age, 11th to 13th century. In 1008 AD, Georgia was unified under the Bagrationi dynasty, which laid the foundation for a strong and centralized kingdom. King David IV, David Builder, 1089 to 1125, expanded Georgia, defeated invaders, and promoted cultural revival. Queen Tamar the Great, 1184 to 1213, one of the most celebrated rulers in Georgian history, oversaw the peak of Georgia's golden age. Under her reign, Georgia expanded its borders, fostered trade, built magnificent churches and fortresses, and became a center of art and literature. This era marked Georgia as a powerful kingdom in the Caucasus, respected by neighbors and feared by rivals. Decline in foreign domination, 15th and 19th centuries. From the 15th century onward, Georgia's power began to decline due to both internal divisions and external threats. Mongols invaded during the 13th century, weakening the kingdom. Later, the Ottoman Empire and Persian Empire competed for influence, often dividing Georgia into smaller, weaker principalities. By the early 19th century, unable to resist stronger powers,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that you are getting good knowledge about the world and keep on enjoying only one thing I want. Just hit the subscribe button and like below this video. Keep on enjoying the videos for lifetime.
Georgia gradually came under the control of the Russian Empire. In 1801, eastern Georgia was officially annexed, followed by other regions in later years. Brief independence in Soviet era, 20th century. The 20th century brought dramatic changes. After the Russian Revolution, 1917, Georgia declared independence in 1918 and established the Democratic Republic of Georgia. However, this freedom was short-lived. In 1921, the Red Army invaded, and Georgia was incorporated into the Soviet Union. During the Soviet era, Georgia developed industries, education, and infrastructure, but political freedoms were suppressed. Modern Georgia, 1991 present. As the Soviet Union collapsed, a strong independence movement emerged in Georgia. On April 9, 1991, Georgia declared independence. Since then, the country has faced significant challenges. Internal instability in the 1990s. Conflicts with Russia, particularly in Abkhazia and South Ossetia, regions that remain disputed to this day. Despite these challenges, modern Georgia has rebuilt itself as a democratic nation, aiming for closer ties with Europe and the West while preserving its unique traditions. Physical geography of Georgia. Although small, Georgia's geography is incredibly diverse. Relief and terrain. Colchida lowland, west. Fertile plain, historically Colchis, rich in agriculture. Caucasus Mountains, north. Snow-covered south, rugged highlands. More than one-third of Georgia is covered with forests, while rivers and gorges create dramatic landscapes. Climate. The climate varies by region. Western Georgia, humid subtropical, with warm winters and heavy rainfall, 40 to 100 inches annually. Eastern Georgia, more continental, with drier winters and hotter summers. High mountains, alpine climate, with snow and ice year-round above 11,000 feet. Soils. The Coquina lowland has rich alluvial soils, perfect for crops like citrus and tea. Mountain soils support forests and pastures, while eastern steppes favor wheat and grapes. Plant and animal life. Georgia's biodiversity is remarkable. Flora: oak, chestnut, beech, alder, fir, ash, linden, apple, pear, rhododendron, and citrus. The western forests are especially lush, with eucalyptus and evergreen shrubs. Fauna: mountains, goats, Caucasian antelope, black grouse, and eagles. Forests: wild boars, bears, wolves, lynx, jackals, and deer. River seas: trout, sturgeon, and black sea fish. This blend of ecosystems makes Georgia a haven for both wildlife and agriculture. People of Georgia. Georgians call their country Sakartvelo and themselves Kartveli. The word Georgia comes from the Persian term gorge. About 80% of the population are ethnic Georgians. Minorities include Armenians, Russians, Azerbaijanis, Ossetis, Greeks, and Abkhazians. Georgia's rich ethnic diversity reflects its position at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. A perfect example of how a small country can have a vast and influential past. From the ancient kingdoms of Colchis and Iberia, through its Christian heritage, the golden age under Queen Tamar, centuries of foreign domination, and its modern struggles, Georgia has maintained a strong national identity. Its landscapes, ranging from Black Sea shores to snowy Caucasus peaks, add natural beauty to its cultural wealth. The Georgian people, known for their resilience and hospitality while respecting their past. Thus, Georgia is not just a country on the map. It is a land of legend, endurance, and extraordinary word count. 1007. Would you like me to also...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram group, so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Attention Cheeky World. I am Attention, making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
1,000 words. This video is created by Admin Sunny, only for educational use. Singapore's story is a fascinating journey of transformation, from a small fishing village to a powerful global city-state. Situated at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, Singapore has always had strategic importance. Over centuries, it evolved from a humble trading port known as Temasek to a modern, independent nation. Early beginnings, the age of Temasek. Before Singapore became known by its current name, it was referred to as Temasek, a Javanese word meaning sea town. It was already a significant maritime trading hub by the 13th and 14th centuries. Historical records and archaeological evidence show that the island had a thriving settlement. It served as an outpost for the Srivijaya Empire, a powerful maritime kingdom based in Sumatra. In the 14th century, Temasek appeared in Chinese traveler Wang Daiwa's writings, which described it as a busy port. In fact, around the year 1349, about 70 Siamese warboats attempted to conquer Temasek, proving its growing importance. The Javanese Majapahit Empire also listed it among their conquered territories in the Bonagarakak 1365. Eventually, the trading significance of Temasek declined, especially after the rise of the port of Malacca. However, its location remained highly valuable. The legend of Singapore, the name Singapore, meaning Lion City, is believed to have originated in the 14th century. According to the Malay chronicle Sejarah Melayu, a Srivijaya prince named Sri Tribhuwana landed on the island and saw a strange creature he thought was a lion. Taking it as a good omen, he named the city Singapore. Though lions were never native to the region, the name stuck, symbolizing strength and courage. Colonial era, rise of a trading power. The modern chapter of Singapore's history began in 1819 when Sir Stamford Raffles, representing the British East India Company, arrived on the island. He saw great potential in Singapore's location and established a free trading post, which allowed ships from all nations to trade without tariffs. By 1824, the British had formal control over Singapore after a treaty with the Sultan of Johor. It became part of the Straits Settlements in 1826, along with Penang and Malacca. In 1867, Singapore became a British crown colony, meaning it was directly governed by London. Due to its free port policy and strategic location on the Strait of Malacca, Singapore quickly grew into a major hub for shipping, trade, and immigration. People from China, India, the Malay Archipelago, and Europe arrived to settle, trade, and work. World War II and Japanese occupation. Singapore's reputation as an impregnable fortress was shattered during World War II. In February 1942, Japanese forces invaded and defeated the British Army, taking control of the island. They renamed it Seoul-in-2, meaning Light of the South. The Japanese occupation lasted until 1945 and was one of the darkest periods in Singapore's history. Thousands of people, especially Chinese civilians, were killed during the Suk Ching massacre. Food shortages, fear, and oppression defined this period. After Japan's defeat, the British returned, but confidence in colonial rule was broken. Road to independence. In 1959, Singapore achieved partial self-governance under British rule. Lee Kuan Yew became the first prime minister. His People's Action Party, PAP, aimed to build a modern, prosperous state. In 1963, Singapore joined Malaysia, along with Malaya, Sabah, and Sarawak, in hopes of achieving greater economic and political stability. However, the union was short-lived. There were deep differences, including political disagreements, ethnic tensions, and economic rivalries. On August 9, 1965, Singapore was expelled from Malaysia, becoming an independent nation. It was a painful moment, and Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew broke into tears during the televised announcement. Building a nation, struggles and successes. In 1965, Singapore faced massive challenges. No natural resources, high unemployment, housing shortages, ethnic divisions among Chinese, Malays, and Indians, lack of a standing army. Yet, through strong leadership, sound policies, and strict governance, the country transformed rapidly. The Housing and Development Board, HDB, was created to provide affordable public housing. Education and healthcare were expanded. The economy was industrialized. Foreign investment was welcomed. English was adopted as the working language to unite communities and connect with the world. Economic miracle. Singapore's transformation is often called an economic miracle. From the 1970s onward, it shifted from labor-intensive industries to high-tech sectors. The port remained vital, but the country also became a leader in banking, finance, electronics, biotechnology, and tourism. Today, Singapore, one of the richest countries per capita in the world, ranked among the top 5 busiest ports, a major financial hub in Asia, known for its cleanliness, safety, and governance. Modern Singapore, a global city. In the present day, Singapore is a model of urban planning, governance, and economic growth. It is famous for Changi Airport, consistently ranked the world's best, Marina Bay Sands, an iconic hotel and entertainment complex, multicultural society with harmony among Chinese, Malays, Indians, and others, education system considered among the best globally, green initiatives, city in a garden with extensive greenery and sustainable architecture. Despite being a small island with limited land and resources, Singapore has become one of the most advanced and respected nations. Key takeaways from Singapore's history. Geography matters. Its location helped it become a trading hub. Leadership is crucial. Visionary leadership by Lee Kuan Yew and others helped build the nation. Multicultural harmony. Singapore promotes racial and religious tolerance, critical for peace. Innovation and education. Investing in people and technology propelled its growth. Final words. From a fishing village to a colonial port, from war-torn occupation to a powerhouse economy, Singapore's history is a story of resilience, transformation, and hope. This educational video was created by Admin Sunny to help you understand how a small island with big dreams became one of the most successful countries in the world. Don't forget to click subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss our upcoming educational videos. Also, share this video link in your WhatsApp groups, school groups, and with friends and family. Thank you for watching.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you loved this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe bell and like after this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Admin Sunny and you're watching Sunny's GK World. Means Sunny is the channel which blogs general knowledge of the entire globe. Now, this is a very beautiful and a very important video for those who are interested to know something more about the world. So here, that's why I have created this beautiful channel so that my all Indians, Asians and international friends get engaged to learn more in their life which they don't know at all. Now here are few human beings which are of very under painful conditions and they are leading a very tough life what the God they have received from the God. Now here I will going to talk about a woman who lives in water. Her name is Aruna Ghosh from India. Who is Aruna Ghosh? Aruna Ghosh from West Bengal suffers from a rare and painful medical condition. Whenever the wind blows, her entire body experiences unbearable pain. This is her very deep problem. As if her skin is burning, like she feels that her skin is burning in a fire. To get relief, she spends nearly 14 hours a day submerged in a nearby lake near to the house. The water soothes her pain, allowing her to survive. Because of her poor financial situation, the conditions are not like that, so she can able to take a proper treatment for the problem. Now she cannot afford hospital treatment even, and instead depends on the lake for comfort. Her life is a heartbreaking example of human tolerance against extreme sufferings. Now who is number 2? The world's dirtiest man, Amu Haji from Iran.
Amu Haji from Iran become world famous for his unusual lifestyle. He reportedly lived to be around 87 years of age right now, though the text says 181 and had not bathed since 1954. Since 1954, he has not taken any bath. Now, this is very, very ridiculous to watch and listen about this. More than 60 years, man, he has not taken bath. He feared that bathing or coming into contact with water would make him sick, so he avoided it completely. This is the human mentality when in problem. Layers of dirt covered his body, man. He also hated fresh food and water. Instead, he drank animal urine and ate decayed meat. To trim his hair, he would burn it using fire rather than cutting it and using water somewhat. He preferred to sleep and rest in dirty surroundings. His strange habits made him known as the world's most dirtiest man ever. Now, here comes number 3. The man who lives in an iron lung, Paul Alexander, USA. Paul Alexander from USA. Actually, Paul Alexander is from Texas, USA. Contracted polio when he was 6 years of age. The disease paralyzed his lungs, leaving him unable to breathe naturally since the year 1950s. Lived inside an iron lung, a large metal machine that helped him to breathe. 70 years, Paul has lived inside this device. He studied, became a lawyer, and even wrote a book of all while being confined to the medicine. His story is one of extraordinary perseverance and adaptation to a mechanical life. Now here comes number 4, the man who lives in a swamp. Now he is Miguel Restrepo from Colombia. Now Miguel Restrepo, a former drug addict from Colombia, decided to live in a sewer tank with his wife and dog. The sewer, just 3 meters long, has become their home for over 20 years now. He once lived on the streets and struggled with addictions. When he decided to quit drugs, his family and friends abandoned him, left with no money or home. He made the sewer his shelter. Inside, he has built a small kitchen, an oven, a TV, and even electricity. He decorates his home during festivals, proving that happiness does not always depend on luxurious life or from palace or from any well-cemented house. Happiness can come from any other places also if you are satisfied. Now here comes number 5, the man who raised his hand for 47 years. Sadhu Amar Bharati from India. Sadhu Amar Bharati, a Hindu holy man from Delhi, has kept one hand raised above his head since 1973, over 4 decades. He took his vow as a war
form of devotion to Lord Shiva and as an act of renunciation from worldly attachment. Due to keeping his hand raised for so long, the muscles have withered and the arm has become stiff and stuck in position. It's a painful but powerful symbol of his faith and spirituality towards Lord Shiva. Now here comes number 6. The man not cut his hair in 50 years. Since 50 years, he has not cut out his own hairs. Tran Van He from Vietnam. Tran Van He from Vietnam avoided cutting his hair for 50 years because he believed he would fall ill or may die if he did it. Very, very ridiculous all these things to hear that if you cut your hair, you may die. What type of thinking is this? Over time, his hair grew, measuring several meters long and weighing several kilograms now. His fear of bad luck turned into a record-breaking achievement. He became known as the man with the longest hair in the world. Wow! Now, on number 7 comes another gentleman, the man who has not eaten or drunk anything for 70 years. Prahlad Jani from India. Prahlad Jani, a from Gujarat, claimed that he did not eaten or drunk anything for over 70 years now. Man is terrific. He believed that divine energy and air were enough to sustain him. Even scientists studied him in hospital for weeks and found no evidence of food or water intake. This is the proof of what you are voting for. Johnny also claimed he did not urinate or defecate, saying that yoga and meditation helped him control all bodily needs. His case remains one of the great medical mysteries, man. Now, here comes number 8. The conjoined twin who lived for 66 years, Ronnie and Tony. Carry on from USA. Ronnie and Tony, you are great, man. Ronnie and Tony, carry on, were conjoined twins born in the US, United States. They shared the same abdomen and lower body. Doctor said that they will not live long, but they defied all expectations and lived 66 years. How medical failed us for saying that they will not live long. There is that doctor. Then why are you saying if you are a doctor, you are not a God man? This is my interpretation for any doctor in the world. God has given, he will prove not any doctor. You doctors only examine, you cannot be forecast, okay? Setting a world record for the longest living conjoined twins in the world. They performed in very serious during their youth and later become local celebrities for their resilience and cheerful attitude towards their life. Beautiful, very nice. I like it. What can doctor do? Doctor is not God man. Number 9 comes the girl who lives in a plastic tub. Rehma Haruna from Nigeria. Rahman Haruna from Nigeria was born healthy, but at 6 months old, a mysterious illness stopped the growth of her limbs. Her arms and legs moves, leaving her unable to move.
Since then, she lived her entire life in a plastic tub, which her family used to carry her from one place to another place. Despite her condition, she smiled and dreamed of owning a small grocery store. Wow. Her story inspired millions worldwide before she sadly passed away at the age of 90. So sorry for that. God will give you another chance, another life. My wishes, my prayer for this beautiful girl. So don't worry, I pay for your soul and insania. Don't you worry. The man who lives alone in Antarctica is Alan, Antarctic researcher. Finally, there Alan, a man who lives entirely alone in Antarctica, one of the coldest and most desolated place on Earth. He worked as a researcher or station keeper surrounded only by snow and ice. No trees there, no animals there, and no other human for hundreds of miles from the area. Despite its location, Alan finds peace in his secluded areas and you can say solitude and has adapted to life in one of the hardest environment on the planet. Now, these are 10 gentlemen about which I have talked about. Now, the conclusion here is this story shows that the world is full of incredible and unusual individuals who live in ways most of us can't imagine, man. Where by choice, by faith, by success, each one of them teaches a unique lesson. Aruna reminds us of strength in pain. Number two, Amu Haji of defense against norms. Number three, Paul Alexander of courage in limitations. Now, next one is Miguel Restrepo of hope is poverty. Another one is Amar Bharati of spiritual devotion. Dan Ben Hay of faith in superstitions and Prahlad Jani of mystery beyond science. Ronnie and Donnie, the two brothers of brotherly brotherhood in unity. Rehma Haruna of acceptance and the grace. Alan of endurance in loneliness. They are living or we are living. Testaments be to how was. He said it is a dramatic lifestyle and it goes like that with the God has provided. This is Edmund Sunny saying goodbye to all my fans and friends who are watching my video. Before leaving this video, I only request to hit the subscribe bell and like under this video so that you never lose the upcoming another story on this channel, and make sure to hit the subscribe bell and like on my all other music channel also, movie channel. Sunny's Explain Movie channel is just launched so that you can understand the movie story fully in my style. Thank you so much for watching this video and make sure to follow the Facebook page, Instagram page, Thread page, and take care of yourself. Bye. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe bell and like the video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. Tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Edwin Sunny's GQ World. I am Edwin Sunny, making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that a visitor, a fan can increase his own knowledge for the world. Let's begin today's video, man.
Architecture, purpose, and cultural significance. The Great Wall of China, a monument of history, defense, and civilization. The Great Wall of China is not a single continuous structure, but rather a remarkable series of walls and fortifications built over a span of more than 2,300 years. Its purpose was primarily defensive, to protect the agricultural heartlands of northern China from the raids and invasions of nomadic tribes from the steppes of Mongolia. Beyond its practical function, however, the wall became a powerful symbol of Chinese unity. World Heritage Site in 1987, it remains one of the most iconic landmarks of human civilization. Early construction, fragmented walls of the Warring States, 7th century BCE to 3rd century BCE. The story of the Great Wall begins in the 7th century BCE, when China was divided into small rival kingdoms. These states were constantly threatened not only by each other, but also by nomadic groups from the north, such as the Daegu and the Xiongnu. Chu State, one of the first to build defensive barriers. It created the so-called Square Wall, designed to protect its northern capital and territory. Qi State constructed large defensive embankments using rivers, hills, and man-made walls. The Qi Wall stretched to the Yellow Sea, built the Yan State erected two defensive lines, the Northern Wall and the Yishui Wall, against nomadic threats in rival states like Qi and Zhao. Zhao, Wei, and Zheng states each developed their own wall systems, often using rammed earth technology. These fortifications were less about unifying and more about regional defense. Thus, by the 4th century BCE, northern China was already a patchwork of defensive walls, which would later form the foundation for the imperial Great Wall. The Qin Dynasty, 221 to 206 BCE, first unification of the wall. When Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, unified the warring states in 221 BCE, frontier from the fearsome Xiongnu. He ordered General Meng Tian to connect and extend the existing walls of Yan, Zhao, and Qin into a single defensive system. This created what was known as the 10,000 Night Wall, about 5,000 kilometers. The construction relied on rammed earth, stones, and forced labor. Millions of conscripted peasants, soldiers, and prisoners worked under harsh conditions. Countless lives were lost. Although this Qin Wall was monumental, it quickly fell into disrepair after the dynasty collapsed in 206 BCE. Still, Qin Shi Huang set the precedent for future dynasties to maintain and expand the wall. The Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, the Wall and the Silk Road. The Han Dynasty, especially under Emperor Wu, 141 to BCE, revived the wall to defend against the Xiongnu and to protect the emerging Silk Road trade network. Construction stretched westward across Gansu and Xinjiang, reaching as far as Lop Nur. New techniques included beacon towers every 5 li, about 2 kilometers, watchtowers every 10 li, and garrisons every 30 li. The wall not only provided security, but also regulated trade, migration, and taxation along the Silk Road. During this time, the wall became both a military barrier and an instrument of economic control. From the northern dynasties to the Yuan dynasty, 3rd to 14th century. Over the next 1,000 years, different dynasties modified and repaired the wall depending on military needs. Northern Wei, 386 to 534 CE, built long stretches to defend against Ruren and Khitan tribes. Northern Qi, 550 to 5577 CE, carried out massive construction projects with over 1.8 million workers, extending the wall nearly 900 miles. Sui Dynasty, 581 to 618 CE, ordered 7 major repairs in less than 40 years. Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, largely abandoned the wall because China had expanded far beyond it and defeated the nomads militarily. Song Dynasty, 60 to 1279 CE, faced constant threats from the Liao and Jin, but lacked resources to fully restore the wall. Yuan Dynasty, 1206 to 1368 CE. The Mongols controlled all of China and saw little use for the wall, though they maintained certain passes for commerce and rebellion control. By the end of the Yuan period, the wall was in ruins, awaiting its greatest reconstruction under the Ming. The Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644, the wall we know today. When the Ming Dynasty came to power after expelling the Mongols, they faced the constant danger of renewed invasions. Thus, they launched the most ambitious rebuilding of the Great Wall. Materials and techniques. Unlike earlier dynasties that relied on rammed earth, the Ming used bricks, cut stone blocks, and mortar reinforced with sticky rice. This made the wall far stronger and more durable. Design. The wall averaged 26 feet, 7 to 8 feet high, with a width of 21 feet at the base and 19 feet at the top. Towers, beacon towers, and fortified passes, such as Zhuangguan and Shanhaiguan, strengthened its defense. Strategic gates. Zhuyang Pass, near Beijing, was among the most crucial, protecting the capital from northern invaders. Dual walls. In many places, the Ming built inner and outer walls, creating layers of defense. It is estimated that over 8,000 miles, 13,000 kilometers of walls, including natural barriers, towers, and trenches, were maintained during the Ming. Much of what tourists see today, battling Mutianyu scimitar, dates back to this era. Qing Dynasty, Qing 1644 to 1911, decline of the wall. The Manchu rulers of the Qing Dynasty did not emphasize the wall as much as the Ming. Instead, they followed a strategy of diplomatic integration and alliances with Mongols and Tibetans. As the empire expanded deep into Central Asia, the wall lost much of its military significance. It gradually decayed, though certain sections were repaired for local defense and symbolism. Has structure and features of the Great Wall. The wall was not simply a single barrier. It was a complex military system with several components. 1. Walls, constructed from local materials, tamped earth in deserts, stone in mountains, bricks near cities. Heights range from 15 to 30 feet, wide enough at the top for soldiers and horses. 2. Watchtowers, built as surveillance and signaling. 3. Beacon towers, used for communication through fire signals by night and smoke signals by day. 4. Passes and fortresses, strategic strongholds like Jaiguan, the western end, and Shanhaiguan, the eastern end, known as First Pass Under Heaven. 5. Moats and ramps, added in some regions for extra protection. This integrated system allowed China to monitor movement, respond quickly to invasions, and regulate commerce. Purposes of the Great Wall. The wall served multiple roles across centuries. 1. Defense. Its primary function was to protect China from northern nomadic invasions, particularly from the Xiongnu, Mongols, and other steppe tribes. 2. Border control. Controlled immigration, and smuggling. It also allowed the Chinese Empire to collect tariffs on trade along the Silk Road. 3. Symbolic power. It projected Chinese authority, discipline, and the idea of a unified empire. Even when militarily less effective, it remained a psychological barrier. Cultural significance and mythology. The Great Wall has long been a symbol of Chinese culture. Legend. The story of Meng Jiangu, whose tears collapsed a section of the wall when her husband died during construction, reflects both the suffering of the laborers and the human cost of the project. Symbolism. By the 20th century, the wall became a national icon, representing resilience and pride. Mao Zedong famously declared, "He who has not climbed the Great Wall is not a true hero." Tourism. Today, reconstructed sections like Badalin attract millions of visitors annually. Preservation and challenges. Despite its fame, large portions of the wall have eroded or disappeared due to natural weathering, neglect, and human destruction. During the 20th century, some villages dismantled wall sections to use bricks for houses. Since the 1980s, however, conservation efforts have increased. UNESCO Heritage 1987 gave it global recognition. Restoration projects at Mutianyu, Scimitar, and Jiayuguan have revived major sections. Laws now protect the wall from further damage, though illegal construction and tourism pressures remain challenges. Conclusion. The Great Wall of China is far more than just an ancient barrier. It is a living chronicle of Chinese history, stretching across dynasties, cultures, and landscapes. Built through the sweat and sacrifice of billions, it embodies the themes of defense, unity, endurance, and identity. From its fragmented beginnings to the warring state, the wall reflects the evolution of Chinese civilization. While it could not always stop invasions, it stood as a line of resistance, a regulator of trade, and a symbol of cultural pride. Today, the Great Wall continues to inspire awe as one of the greatest architectural achievements in human history. Standing on its ancient stones, one feels not only the weight of centuries, but also the
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again subscribe and like after this video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest group so that others get the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting. Since placing it as a protector of Dharma in the final stage of Kali Yuga. Archaeological and other types of claims. Supporter of the theory of density, archaeological findings in Russia and surrounding regions. Claiming the discovery of symbolic such as swastika, fire altars, iron idols assembling Hindu deities. They also point to linguistic similarities between Sanskrit and Slavic languages, suggesting a shared Indo-European root. Mainstream archaeological and linguistic too acknowledge Indo-European connections but do not support the conclusion that ancient Russia was a Hindu civilization. These interpretations remain speculative and are often criticized by so many selective using evidences. Hinduism in modern Russia. In recent decades, Hindu philosophy, especially through ISKCON and the Bhagavad Gita, has gained followers in Russia, while Hindus remain a small minority. Interest in yoga, Vedanta, and Krishna consequences has increased Russian tradition and towards the view of Bhagavad Gita are widely read not only by Hindus but also by spiritual seekers. Some enthusiasts interpret this culture interest as fulfillment of prophecy. However, from an academic perspective, this trend is better understood as part of global spiritual exchange rather than religious transformation of a nation. Now, what is the conclusion at the last? It is very, very important. Conclusion, faith, symbolism, and the future. The idea that Russia was blessed by Lord Krishna and destined to play a major role in the end of Kali Yuga exists at the intersection of faith, mythology, prophecy, and modern geopolitics. For believers, ancient texts are not merely stories but coded timelines of humanity. These interpretations reflect symbolic thinking applied to contemporary anxiety. What is certain is that ancient sculptures like the Mahabharata and texts such as the Malika continued to influence how people interpret the present and imagine the future. Whether these prophecies are destiny or metaphor remains an open question right now. One that ultimately depends on personal beliefs rather than historical proofs. If everything is already written, the final question remains, are we moving blindly towards fate, or do we still have the power to choose a different path? Depends on you, what you choose. So this is the story which I took for my fans and friends around the globe. Please hit the subscribe bell and like below this video so that you never miss the upcoming mythological or different type of stories on Sunny GK World. Keep supporting and also follow my Facebook page, Instagram, thread, and our videos are also launched on Daily Motion channels. You can see you will get somewhere there on Daily Motion sites, and also we are launching Telegram channel very soon. So till then, take care, bye bye, love you all.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, yet it's just begun.
Hello my friends, this is Admin Sunny, and this is Norht, the Stars Biography channel. This is Sunny's GK World. Now in this video I will going to tell you something very unique about a very fantastic friend of mine and a very fantastic and beautiful gorgeous actress of Hollywood film industry. None other than Angelina Jolie. She is one of my favorite friends on earth, without any doubt. So many times we get in contact with each other on social media platforms like Thread and Facebook. But I respect this lady a lot. She is one of my favorite actors. Not only actress, she is a very nice, kind, and loving and caring human being. That's what I have noticed in my friend Angelina. So in this video I will going to tell you about the uniqueness of this gorgeous actress Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie is often described as many things at once: an action heroine, a heartbreaker, a mysterious rebel, a humanitarian, and a woman who has constantly reinvented herself behind the glamorous image of the Tom Rider star lies a life filled with emotional turmoils, bold choices, deep struggles, and remarkable resilience. Her journey from a troubled childhood to becoming one of the most influential, you can see, a brilliant and talented woman in the world, is a story of transformation shaped by pain, courage, and self-discovery. Angelina Jolie was born on June 4, 1975 in Los Angeles, California, into a famous Hollywood family. Her father John Boycott was already a successful actor and her mother, Marceline Bartlett, was also an actress. I am really sorry for that. If you have any pronunciation in dictating the words, it may not be like in the same way of American style, because I am not from America. Keep in mind, was also an actress who later sacrificed her career to raise her children. Jolie's birth brought immense joy to her father, who later recalled holding his newborn daughter and feeling that she looked very wise, like an old friend. These are few beautiful words by his father, told very wise like an old friend. Her godparents included well-known actors Jacqueline Bisset and Maximilian, and her extended family was filled with artists and performers, making acting almost inevitable. Despite this glamorous background, Jodie's early life was far from stable. Her parents' marriage fell apart shortly after her birth, mainly due to her father's decision when Angela was just 1 year old. Her parents divorced. That was the very bad patch of the life. I am sorry to say, but I don't like all this divorce and all. Once you got married, you have a child, it's your duty to perform the whole life with each other. Divorce is a dark spot in a human's career. As per my choice, I am not interested for all these useless things. It means you are destroying your own life as well as others' life. So this is my rule. But the whole world cannot be motivated by my rule. This is my another rule. And her mother moved away with Angelina, and her brother James Heaven, while John Bogart's career continued to flourish. Marceline devoted herself entirely to raising her children, instilling them independence and emotional openness. Jolie grew up in a relatively liberal household, raised as a Catholic but never forced into strict religious practices. From an early age, Angelina showed signs of being unconventional and intense. She openly spoke later about her early sexual curiosity and rebellious nature, describing herself as a child who constantly got into trouble. Movies played a major role in her childhood as her mother often took her to the cinema. This shared experience rather than her father's fame sparked Jolie's interest in acting. She loved dressing up, performing at home and staging little shows, often when her brother acting as the cameraman. Angelina made her first on-screen appearance at the age of 5 only in the film Looking to Get Out. She cheered her father and mother, although the role was small, it marked in the movie. Now, the thing is very important is that when the marked by emotional instability and troubling behavior, Jolie later admitted to being careless and even cruel with animals, a reflection of the inner chores she struggled with. She developed an unusual fascination with knives and weapons, an interest that began at a renaissance, you can say, fair, and followed her into adolescence, sometimes with dangerous consequences. As a teenager, Jolie felt alienated and out of place, especially after returning to Los Angeles and attending Beverly Hills High School. Suddenly, surrounded by wealthy students, she felt like an outsider due to her family's modest income. She was teased for being thin and wayward and so on. Various types of words used that time, which I cannot dictate here, which deepened her sense of isolation. After early modeling attempt failed, she transformed to an alternative school where she embraced a punk identity, dressed in black, and moved slowly and surely, and openly rebelled against social norms. During his period, Jolie struggled deeply with her mental health. She experienced depression, self-harm, and destructive impulses, eventually seeking therapy and receiving a diagnosis related to social psychopathy and tendencies that time. Despite these challenges, her mother encouraged her to channel her emotions into acting. Jolie enrolled at the Lee Starberg Theatre Institute where she studied method acting of 2 years. Though she eventually left due to lack of experience. The training laid the foundation for her intense and immersive acting style. Jolie's early personal life was equally turbulent. She entered a serious relationship at a very young age, and her mother allowed the couple to live together to avoid rebellion and emotional distance. By 16, Jolie began repairing her relationship with her father, who became a mentor in her acting ambitions. She briefly returned to the modeling and appeared in music video and student films, slowly building confidence and exposure. Her first major film role came in 1992 with Cyborg 2, a low-budget sci-fi sequel, you can say, although she was excited to star in her first Hollywood lead role, but she was deeply disappointed by the final result and later described feeling physically ill after watching it. The film was a critical and commercial failure, but it marked an important turning point. Angelina dropped her father's surname and became now professionally as Angelina Jolie. This is the name she got by this sense. Now this is the important turning point. Angelina dropped her father's surname and became known professionally as Angelina Jolie. Despite setbacks, Jolie persisted. Her breakthrough came with the 1995 film Hacker, where she played a confident and charismatic hacker. Although the film initially failed at the box office, critics noticed Jolie's powerful screen presence. Around this time, she married her co-star Johnny Lee Miller in a highly unconventional blood wedding, where she wore black and wrote his name on her shirt in her own blood. The marriage was intense but short-lived, mirroring the emotional volatility of her life at the time. Professionally, Jolie continued to grow through roles in films like Foxfire, where she portrayed a rebellious teenage leader, and later through television projects such as George Wallace. Her performance in George Wallace earned her critical acclaim and major award nominations, proving her dramatic abilities and capabilities. This success led to her casting in HBO's biological film Gia, where she portrayed troubled supermodel Gia Karengi. The role of Gia became a defining moment in Jolie's career. Drawing from her own struggles, she delivered a raw and haunting performance that stunned audience and critics alike. The film earned her a Golden Globe, a Screen Actor Guild Award, and this is a very important turning point, and Emmy nomination. It was both personal and professional breakthroughs, forcing Jolie to confront her demons while establishing her as a serious actress. As ultimate rise to global fame came, and Girl with Girl interpreted 1999, playing the violet and magical Lisa Raw. Jolie dominated the screen and stole focus from the film lead. Her performance earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, along with multiple other honors. At just 24 years old, Angelina Jolie had reached the peak of the Hollywood recognitions. That's beautiful. This is the quality of this great lady and my best friend ever. Through fame, brought controversy, intense media security, and public misunderstandings, it also marked the beginning of Jolie's transformation from a troubled teenager and self-destructive young woman. She evolved into a globally respected actress and humanitarian, and her later work as a goodwill ambassador, her advocacy for refugees, and her dedication to for the human beings causes would redefine her public image entirely. Angela Jolie life story is not one of simple success but of constant struggle throughout the life with a heavy, high quality courage in Angela I saw myself right now. She is a brilliant, talented and courageous woman on earth. And as a friend, I promise her if whenever she looks by this video, I am with you, my lovely friend. Her journey proves that even the most broken beginnings can lead to a profound purpose, and that true strength often comes from facing one's darkest moment head on. So don't you worry, you have to struggle your life. Life is never easy for anyone. So this is some story and realities about this beautiful, gorgeous, talented friend of mine. I salute to my this gorgeous, talented friend, not only because she is a Hollywood great actor. Oh, no, no, no. I appreciate because I know her somewhat as a good human being, caring, loving, and thinking woman she is. What I have noticed as a friend of Angela. Love you, love you, love you. One more thing. The people, the person, the lady, the girls who feels that marriage is all everything, you are wrong. Care, feelings, wait for a good friend who takes you on and on with strong remarks and who touches you, who stops you if you do something wrong is a true and pure love. That's what I have for Angelina Jolie. God bless you and always with you. Love you, madam. Thank you, Admin Sunny here.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello friends, you are watching Sunny's General Knowledge World, means Sunny's GK World. On this video, we will provide some very fascinating and unique information about the past, about the world. Now in this today's topic, I have chosen to tell you something about various types of monuments and historical places in India. Now, today I will discuss about the truth and the story of Taj Mahal that is in Agra. So, before starting this video, I request you to please hit the subscribe bell and like button below this video so that whenever we launches our new video, you will never get to miss that upcoming video. You can able to watch that video particularly, especially for you, fully without paying even a single pie for that. So click the subscribe bell and like, and also one more thing, share the video link and channel link on WhatsApp group in between your friends and family, and also follow my Facebook, Instagram and thread pages. One more thing, you can also watch our videos on Daily Motion channels and Telegram channels. So let's begin this today's video. Who could ever think that an eternal love leading to the saga of infinity, bondage evolve out of desert like land and would bloom your you can say blossom, to be the reason to gift our world a poem in marble, the Taj says. No image of the Taj, neither on canvas nor on celluloid, can adequately express its conceptual imaginary nor convey the legend, the poetry and the romance that shrouds what Rabindranath Tagore calls a teardrop on the cheek of time. The Taj Mahal, a spectacle in white marble, unparalleled to any other monument in the world or on earth, unparalleled in grandeur, that depicts the sheer opulence of an era, the awesome structure, the monument of love that Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan gave to the world. It stands as a testimony of his intense love for his wife Mumtaz Mahal. It is a romance celebrated in marble and glorified with precise and semi-precise precious stones, and that the way to appreciate it. Uttar Pradesh, the land of the Taj, is rich in its cultural heritage and has always been a prominent arena of politics, and various types of parties engage in that since the ancient time. Agra, the city of the Taj and once the capital of the Mughal emperor during the 16th through the early 18th centuries, enjoys a close proximity to the national capital city of New Delhi. Tourists from all over the world try to come here. Tourists from all over the world visit Agra to make a pilgrimage to Taj Mahal, India. Most famous architectural wonder in a land where a magnificent temples and edifices abundant to remind visitors about the rich civilization of a country that is slowly but surely lifting itself into a industrialized society as well. Taj Mahal means crown palace and is in fact the most well preserved and archaeologically you can say कि as far as art wise and beauty and the cutting of stones and its beautiful dome in the world made by various white marble itself looks beautiful. The English poet Sir Edwin Arnold had described the Taj as not a piece of art as other buildings are, but the proud passions of an emperor's love wrote in living stones. It is a romance celebrated in marble and glorified with precious and semi-precious stones, and that's the way to appreciate it. Taj Mahal stands on the bank of river Yamuna, which otherwise deserves as a white most defending the great Red Fort of Agra, the center of the Mughal emperors until they moved their capital to Delhi in 1637. It was built by the fifth Mughal emperor Shah Jahan in 1631 in memory of his third but the most favorite wife. In fact, his soul-mate Mumtaz Mahal, a Muslim Persian princess. She died while accompanying her husband in Burhanpur in a campaign to crush a rebellion after giving birth to her 13th child. The death so crushed the emperor that all his hair and beard were said to have grown snow white in a few months. When Mumtaz Mahal was still alive, she extracted four promises from the emperor. First, that he build the Taj. Second, that he should marry again. Third, that he be kind of their children. And fourth, that he visit the tomb on her death anniversary. However, due to ill health and being under house arrest by his own son and successor to the throne, that man is Aurangzeb, barred him from continue to keep the last promises. The Taj rises on a high, red sandstone base topped by a huge white. This is a very, very beautiful story. A huge white marble terrace on which rests the famous dome flanked by four tapering minarets. Within the dome lies the jewel inlaid cenotaph of the queen. So executes is the workmanship that the Taj has been described as having been designed to giant and finished by jewelries. The only thing and the matter is the object in the Taj is the casket of the emperor, which was built beside the queen as an afterthought. Legend has it that during his 8 years long imprisonment and imprisonment, Shah Jahan used to intensely view the Taj lying on the bed through a diamond fixed in the wall in front of a particular angle wall. As a tribute to a woman of exotic beauty and as a monument of a love story which is keeping us engrossed even when we are reading through these pages here. Truly an everlasting romance of a love not ended as yet. The Taj reveals its subtitles to its beholders. The rectangular base of Taj is in itself symbolic of different sides from which to view a beautiful woman. The main gate is like a veil to a woman's face, which should be lifted delicately, gently, and without haste on the wedding night. In Indian tradition, the veil is lifted gently to reveal the beauty of the bride. As one stands inside the main gate of Taj, his eyes are directed to an arch which frames the Taj. The dome is made of rich marble, but the dome is set against the plain across the river, and it is his background that works. Its magic of colors that, through their reflections, change the view of the Taj Mahal. The colors change at different hours of the day and during different seasons. The Taj sparkles like a jewel in moonlight when the semi-precious stones inlaid into the white marble on the main mausoleum catch and reflect back its glow with a better gleam. The Taj is pinkish in the morning, milky white in the evening, and golden when the moon shines. These changes, they say, depict the different moods of a beauty of any kind. This is the beauty of Taj Mahal marbles, change of the color whole day. Different people have different views of the Taj Mahal, but it would be enough to say that the Taj has a life of its own that leaps out of marble, a masterpiece of the art and science of architectural tips and tricks, a representative of an era called the Mughal period, surpassing any authority to add or de-add anything in any sense in or out of the Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal stands tall with grace, is not just a parable epitome of emotional and eternal love between a man and a woman, but for other reasons too. Emperor Shah, who commissioned the construction of the Taj Mahal, desired to create it also as a symbol of solemnity, harmony, purity, and spirituality as well. So, this is the inner part of the making of Taj Mahal. The Taj is simply a majestic tribute to an exotic beauty. The saga of the Taj would be half told if the mighty related to its not mentioned. Like many great buildings, the Taj Mahal has its myths and legends. It seems that there is more fiction on the Taj than serious scholar research. Several of these stories belong solely to oral traditions and are told by a guide. Some are so established that they form a popular history of the monument and have made their way into guidebooks, and some have been taken up by scholars or even created by them and thus become part of the surely a strong debate itself. What are the facts more regarding this beautiful monument? To the last category belongs the oldest tales of the Taj. Here, the most widely known is the story of the second Taj, the Black Taj, which Shah Jahan intended to build in black marble opposite the present mausoleum right now on the site of the Mehtab Bagh. It goes back to the Jean Baptist Tavernier, who, when at Agra in 1965 AD, reported that Shah Jahan began to build his own tomb on the other side of the river, but the war with his son interrupted his plan totally and unable to complete it. And Aurangzeb, who regime at present is not disposed to complete it. Saja was put under house arrest by his own son and successor by force Aurangzeb. The latter did not agree with his father on most issues and was particularly opposed to him building a black Taj like this as his own mausoleum, you can say, or upon Shah Jahan's death, Aurangzeb made the body of the emperor who got the body of his beloved Mumtaz is a golden casket from Burhanpur to Agra, carried in a boat by only two men and buried him in the Taj next to his wife is probably the simplest manner. Saja, the emperor who fulfilled the wishes of his beloved, could not find fulfillment of his own wish to build a black Taj to express his mourning for the beloved Queen Mumtaz Mahal even after his death. That was the serenity in the purity of the love. So this is all the story of Taj Mahal I have told you. This is the basic what happened that time by the emperor for her love. I hope you loved it, and please make sure to hit the subscribe bell and like below this video so that I will be bringing another good video very soon. And also share the video link on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, and on other groups. Thank you so much.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. Buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Admin Sunny here. You're watching Sunny's GK World. In this video, I will going to discuss the importance and the beauty of one and only beautiful country in its class, and that is New Zealand. This is the story of New Zealand. Why this nation is very special in terms of safety, beauty, and peacefulness. Here we are discussing about New Zealand. When we talk about the peace, equality, the love, the affection, the equality, there is so many nations around us, but New Zealand, I find, is better than all. When powerful nations around the world are shaken by nuclear threats all day long, all round the globe and all round the year. When powerful nations around the world are shaken by these attacks, these wars, these nuclear threats, and the fear of war, when tensions rise between the countries like Iran and the United States right now, there exists a country quietly sitting in a corner of the world, untouched by jaws. That country is none other than New Zealand, often considered one of the safest places on earth. This is the blessing of universe, I think. The biggest strength of New Zealand is its geography. It lies in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. In Hindi we called it Prashant Mahasagar. Thousands of kilometers away from major conflict zone. Even its closest neighbor like Australia is also about 1,600 to 2,000 kilometers away from New Zealand on Earth. Because of this distance, any missile launched from a region like the United States, Europe, or the Middle East would likely be detected and neutralized before reaching to New Zealand. That's why this country is quite very safe, man. New Zealand has no major enemies. In the meantime, no nearby hostels, hustles, military bases, and no strategic resources like oil that could make it a target. Its military is defensive rather than aggressive, which further reduces the chances of conflicts itself. Even if an enemy tried to attack, maintaining supply lines across vast oceans would be extremely difficult. But safety is not just about avoiding wars, it's also about survival. New Zealand is highly self-sufficient. It produces more food than it's needed, almost, has abundant clean water, and generates significant renewable energy itself. Even if global supply chains collapse, the country can sustain itself by its own. So this is the beauty of New Zealand. Congratulations, those who are staying there, man, love you all at sunny here. Because of this, many billionaires are reportedly buying land and building bunkers in New Zealand, seeing it as a safe haven in case of global disasters. In fact, New Zealand declared itself a nuclear-free zone in the 1980s itself, and it does not allow nuclear-powered or nuclear-armed ships into its port to enter. Geographically, New Zealand is an island nation in the South Pacific made up of two main islands, the North Island and the South Island, along with many smaller ones too. It covers about 268,268 square kilometers and has a population of around 5 million people plus. The country is known for its high education levels with nearly 99% literacy rate, as we have noticed out there by the team. A large portion of the population identify as having no religion, while Christianity and smaller communities of Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists and Jews also exist, peacefully living there in the country called New Zealand. The capital city is Wellington, while Auckland is the largest and one of the most modern cities surrounded by over 50 volcanoes. It's dangerous. The people of New Zealand are called Kiwis, named after their national bird, which is a beautiful, small and flightless bird, kiwi. New Zealand is famous for its natural beauty itself, clean environment and active lifestyles. People enjoy outdoors activities like hiking, car trapping, and which keeps them healthy and fit. The country is also socially progressive itself. Same-sex marriage is legal and equality is strongly supported in the country. This is New Zealand. Historically, the indigenous Maoris people arrived around the 13th century, and their culture remains an important part of the national identity. Some interesting facts about this country, which is called New Zealand. You can never be more than 128 kilometers away from the sea. There are more sheep than people. Ships are so many there. There are more than people, humans there. It's only of the least corrupt countries in the world. Women were given the right to vote here in the year 1893, making it the first country to do so. There are no native snakes in New Zealand. The night sky is so clear that the Milky Way is easily visible to anyone, those who are interested in watching such type of views. New Zealand is also strong in science and innovation. Scientist Ernest Rutherford, who played a key role in discovering the structure of the atom, was from here and won a Nobel Prize. Tourism is a major industry thanks to stunning locations like Queenstown, known for adventures of sports like bungee jumping and skydiving, landmarks like the Sky Tower in Auckland after breathtaking views. The country also celebrates Anzac Day, A-N-Z-A-C, Anzac Day, honoring soldiers who served in the war and died for the nation called New Zealand. Now, what is the conclusion? Before conclusion, I want to say something more about that. What are the things which you are not supposed to do in New Zealand that will also be discussed in the last part of this video. So keep on watching this video without skipping the video. And one more thing, please hit the subscribe bell and like below this video so that you never miss the upcoming beautiful brand new video totally free. Hit the subscribe bell and like below this video and share the video and channel link on WhatsApp group in between your families and friends out there so that they easily understand the meaning and purpose of making and creating this channel. This is Sunny's cheeky word by admin Sunny here. In conclusion, New Zealand is not just a beautiful country, it is a unique blend of peace, self-sufficiency, natural beauty and progressive values. It stands as a model of how a nation can thrive while staying away from global conflicts and maintaining harmony with nature and its people. Now, I will going to discuss what you don't have to do in New Zealand. So, don't skip the video. Watch this video till the end. Now, this is very important topic that what you have not to do while traveling in this beautiful country, New Zealand. There are the problems of different languages, Portuguese, English, Hindi and others, along with random word songs, references and ideas if does not from single clear story. The passage jump between many topics like mentions of people and names like Midi means married Justin Bieber. Now, famous phrase like I have dreams. Music styles such as rock, rap, hip hop and many more. So this is very important to understand. Mentions the brand of things like Disney, Frozen, craft foods, bits of technology like camera, speed test, hardware, gaming, fantasy elements like burning and very more other things. New Zealand is being talked about a real beautiful and safe country. It highlights good people, peaceful lifestyle and natural beauty out there in this country called New Zealand. You have to be very careful while you are driving and on the roads of New Zealand. New Zealand has certain more things of risk, but if you are careful, you can do it by your own. So we will be back very soon with some another beautiful story of any other beautiful nation like New Zealand. So before leaving, please hit subscribe button, like, and join this channel totally free and share on WhatsApp groups in between your family and friends, and also visit my Facebook page, Instagram and thread pages, and our video also uploaded on this Telegram channel, WhatsApp, and other areas. So please keep on visiting our site. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. Buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Admin Sunny here. One thing I want to tell you about Japan, why so many people of Japan, they are just bending out in the life to lead their own nations. As of early 2026, people in Japan, both citizens and long-term foreigners residing there, are experiencing increased feelings of uncertainty and fear, driven by a combination of impending natural disasters, severe economic pressures, and rapid social changes. According to the research and news report as of March 2026, the primary factor driving this fear includes fear of impending natural disaster.
Dinky?
That is very, very important.
Hey,
More
Dinky,
than 80%
क्या
of
कर रही है?
Japanese people fear
सोने का
that
टाइम होगा
massive
तब आती हो तुम 2
earthquake
मिनट पहले.
similar to the 2011 that is Daegu disaster could occur in the year in the future. This persistent threat combined with the reality that 70% of people feel unprepared contributes to a constant state of anxiety. Geographical and economic uncertainty, rising oil prices fueled by the Iran conflict are driving various types of problems and threatening Japanese economic stability. Many fear this will heavily impact corporate earning, leading to a rising cost of living and stagnant service. Mental health struggles. A 2024 survey reported that 78.2% of Japanese people feel anxious. They are very anxious, you can say, a record high with high rates of work-related mental health issues, particularly among those in their teens and 20s. Demographic crisis and social strains. Japan's population is just shrinking at a record pace of 908,000 plus decline in 2024. The springing, you can say, the shrinking workforce has led to severe labor shortage, putting immense pressure on remaining workers. That is very, very dangerous move by the life. And the rising and social tensions amidst rapid social changes, there is an increase in Japanese first sentiment and anti-foreigners increase, leading to discomfort for long-term foreign residents in the country who feel they are being viewed as a burden now on the nation. Cultural isolation is, in their language, use Hiki, Ko Mori, and roughly 1.5 million people in Japan live in a state of social withdrawal known as hikikomori after triggered by work pressure, job loss, and anxiety. So let's move towards more about this topic. Thank you. Hello, welcome friend. Admin Sunny here. You are watching Sunny's GK World official YouTube channel. I am Admin Sunny, your host, and in this today's important video, I will try to give you some important tips and information about a very, very beautiful and renowned nation story that is none other than Japan. Here, I am just making it clear that why so many people, the public of Japan, is leaving their own nation. 90% of people just want to migrate from their dangerous located country called Japan. Do you know that there is a country in the world that is considered almost perfect in terms of technology, safety, and quality? Yet, today that same country is facing a strange and serious problems. Instead of people moving there, they are leaving their own country, Japan, and not just foreigners, but even its own young population is gradually moving out of Japan. Why? The big question is Japan really becoming empty? And if so, what is happening there in Japan to the world's fifth largest economy? Yes, we are looking about and we are talking about Japan, a country famous worldwide for its robots, bullet trains, and ultra-modern technologies and ultra-modern cities. And also beautiful models, beautiful girls, dancers, culture, tradition, all are beautiful in Japan. Japan currently has a population of around 123 millions, 123 million, making it the 11th most populous country in the world on the earth. Cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya are also advanced that many people consider them a glimpse of the future. However, when we look deeper into the matter, we find a very unusual population pattern. About 2/3 of Japan population lives in a narrow strip called the Pacific Belt. They called it Pacific Belt, a 1,200-kilometer long region stretching from Fukuoka to Tokyo. This area includes major cities like Hiroshima, Kobe, Osaka, Kyoto, and Nagoya, and Tokyo. Nearly 80 million people live in just 10% of the country's land, while the remaining 90% is sparsely populated. Now, what is this going on there in Japan? Many rural areas are rapidly decline. Schools are closing. Villagers are running here and there to save their life. Villagers are becoming empty. Villages are getting vacated by the people and abandoned. Houses called Akia are increasing so much that the government is offering them at very, very low prices. One major reason for this is Japan's geography. About 73% of the country is mountainized, leaving very little land for cities and farming. Historically, people settled near coastal plains like the, you can say, Kento, Nobi, and Kansai plains, where cities like Tokyo developed. Tokyo itself is the largest metropolitan area in the world, and with over 40 million people. However, before proceeding more on into this video and topic, I request you all to make it very, very clear to hit the subscribe bell and like below this video. And after clicking on subscribe bell and like, your duty is to share the video and channel link on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and to the various groups so that people know each other and more people attach with these channels to get a proper and fair information. So it's your duty to hit the subscribe and like, and you can also watch my videos on Daily Motion channels, Telegram channels, and also on WhatsApp channel. So I'm talking about, however, the biggest issue now is Japan aging population and declining birth rate. That is very, very important. Every year the population is sticking. Prime Minister Fumio has told last year, has called Japan's biggest national challenges. The government has introduced financial support for families, child care, subsidies and policies to help working mothers. But the problem is still not able to be solved in the minds of the people. They don't want to live in Japan. Even former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe tried to address this through economics reforms and by increasing workforce participation among women and the elderly, but population decline continued. A new trend is also emerging. Young Japanese people are moving abroad. They are just running towards America, Europe, and other countries like Russia and all. Unlike, as I have told you, a new trend is also emerging. Young Japanese girls and boys, especially girls, after taking education from there, they are just running off Japan. Japanese people are moving abroad. Unlike the past, where people worked their entire lives in one company, today youth seek better salaries, freedom and lifestyles. Countries like the United States, Canada, Australia and parts of Europe are becoming more attractive. Why? At the same time, fewer foreigners are choosing Japan due to challenges like difficult Japanese language, strict corporate culture, long working hours, Economically, Japan has also struggled since the 1990s, I said. Bubble collapse, leading to slow growth. Future GDP growth is expected to remain around 0.5% to 1%, one of the lowest among developed countries nowadays. The biggest concern is the shrinking working age population, which has already declined by about, you can say, 16% since 1995. Meanwhile, nearly 30% of Japan's population is now over 65, increasing pressure on healthcare, pensions, and government spendings. Although unemployment is low, around 2.5%, you can say the real issue is labor storages and low productivity, limiting industrial growth. Now, this situation also connects with India. India has one of the youngest populations in the world, while Japan is rapidly aging. This creates an opportunity to recent years. India and Japan have increased cooperation in technology, manufacturing and skill development. Many Indian students and professionals are working in Japan, especially in sectors like automobiles, robotics and electronics items. India could be part of the solution for Japan workforce shortage. However, a critical question remains still. If birth rate continue to fall, young people keep leaving and foreign workers don't arrive in large numbers, Japan population may decline even faster in the future. Despite being a major global economy, Japan is now at a turning point. It must find new solutions, whether through immigrations, economic reforms, and advanced technologies like robotics and AI entering. On this, one thing is certain, Japan's story is not just about one country. It may be a preview of the future challenges that many developed nations also going to be faced. As a creator, it's my duty to tell the entire world what is exactly going on in another country, not only in Asia or India, and not only in one nation. It's our duty as a creator, as a social media influencer, that I have to tell you the reality, what is going on and why these new generations running towards Europe, Russia and other countries and leaving their own nation, Japan. Please think about your country. Please respect and love your country. That is very, very important. This video will be also be turned and reformed in Japanese language so that what mistakes Japanese are doing will be converted into their Japanese language. After this video, next video will be turned into their Japanese language so that Japanese young boys and girls can understand what I mean to say and why I have created this video in their own language, that is in Japanese language. Thank you, and make sure to hit the subscribe bell and like below this video and share on WhatsApp group in between your friends and family so that they also know something more about the world. Thank you so much. Love you.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. Buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun.
Hello, wonderful people. people out there. Today I am here at Miss Sunny and you're watching my general knowledge channel, Sunny's General Knowledge Miss Sunny GK World. My friends, today I got a very important topic and that is the history of entire Europe. The historical, the places to visit in Europe. So, due to the fact this video is too long to handle and that's why I have decided to take some help from other sites. But this is my creation and I have created this video only for educational use and to pick up the lives of many or thousands of newcomers, those are facing the problem of deep general knowledge in their life. So I have decided to make this beautiful video for that. Hope you love it and I only request you to, if you liked any single part of the video, please hit the subscribe button, like below this video, and your job is to share the video link on your WhatsApp groups in between your family and friends around the globe, and also follow my Facebook, Instagram and Thread pages. And one more thing, we also upload our videos on Motion channels and on Telegram channel. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, and let's begin this beautiful video at Miss Sunny here. Let's start.
The ultimate guide to historical places to visit in Europe. Europe is a living museum. Across its cities, islands, mountains, and countryside, you will find layers of civilization built upon one another. From prehistoric stone circles and Greek temples to Roman arenas, medieval castles, Renaissance cathedrals, and powerful 20th century memorials. Each monument reflects political power, religion, art, war, trade, and human ambition. Below is a detailed exploration of the most important historical places to visit in Europe, organized by era and region. Prehistoric and ancient Europe image. 1. Stonehenge, England. Stonehenge, built between 3000 and 2000 BC, Stonehenge remains one of Europe's greatest prehistoric mysteries. Massive standing stones, some transported over 150 miles, are arranged in a circular formation aligned with the summer and winter solstices. Archaeologists believe it functioned as a ceremonial and astronomical site. Visiting at sunrise or sunset offers a powerful connection to Europe's earliest spiritual traditions. 2. Acropolis of Athens, Greece. Acropolis of Athens. The Acropolis represents the height of classical Greek civilization, 5th century BC. It includes the iconic Parthenon, dedicated to the goddess Athena. The harmony, balance, and precision of its design shaped Western architecture for centuries. The Acropolis Museum nearby deepens understanding of ancient democracy, philosophy, and art. Colosseum, Rome. Colosseum, constructed between 70 to 80 AD, this massive amphitheater could seat over 50,000 spectators. Gladiator contests and dramatic performances showcased Roman engineering brilliance and imperial power. Nearby Roman forum ruins allow visitors to walk through the political heart of ancient Rome. Now 4. Pont de Garde, France. Pont de Garde, a 3-tiered Roman aqueduct bridge built in the 1st century AD. It demonstrates Rome's advanced infrastructure. It once carried water over 30 miles to the city of Nice. Now 5. Italy. Pompeii. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, Pompeii was frozen in time. Streets, homes, frescoes, rock, and even food were preserved under volcanic ash. It offers an intimate glimpse into daily Roman life. Byzantine medieval Europe image. Number 6. Hagia Sophia, Turkey. Hagia Sophia, built in 537 AD. Hagia Sophia was the world's largest cathedral for nearly a millennium. Its enormous dome and golden mosaics symbolize Byzantine architectural genius. It later became a mosque and now functions as a mosque again, reflecting layers of religious transformation. Number 7. Notre Dame Cathedral. Notre Dame Cathedral, a masterpiece of Gothic architecture in the 12th and 14th century, features fine buttresses, rose windows, and sculpted gargoyles. It represents medieval Christianity's spiritual power. 8. Alhambra, Spain. Alhambra. This 13th century Moorish palace complex showcases Islamic art in Europe. Intricate tile work, peaceful courtyards and water gardens reveal the sophistication of Al-Andalus culture before Spain's Christian reconquest. Tower 9, Tower of London, England. Tower of London, founded by William the Conqueror in 1066, it served as royal palace, fortress, prison, and treasury. Today it houses the crown jewels. Number 10, Doge's Palace, Italy. Doge's Palace, political center of the Venetian Republic. It reflects Venice's maritime power. Gothic architecture combined with Renaissance art makes it unique. Renaissance and Baroque Europe image. 11, Sagrada Familia, Spain. Sagrada Familia, designed by Antoni Gaudí in 1882, this basilica blends Gothic and Art Nouveau styles. Its organic shapes and symbolic facades make it one of Europe's most distinctive churches. 12, Lecce, Italy. Lecce, often called the Florence of the South, Lecce's Baroque churches feature intricate stone carvings and dramatic facades. 13, Palermo Cathedral, Sicily. Palermo Cathedral, a mix of Norman, Arab, Gothic, and Baroque styles, reflecting Sicily's multicultural past. 14, Valley of the Temples, Sicily.
Make sure that you are getting good knowledge about the world and keep on enjoying one thing I want. Just hit the subscribe and the like to this video. Keep on enjoying the videos more like that.
Europe's highest active volcano, shaping Sicily's agriculture and folklore. 17, Trulli of Algarabello, Puglia. Trulli of Algarabello, conical stone houses unique to southern Italy and protected by UNESCO. Number 18, Castel del Monte, Italy. Castel del Monte, a geometrically perfect 13th century castle built by Emperor Frederick II. Greek islands and Mediterranean heritage image. 19, Old Fortress of Corfu. Old Fortress of Corfu, Venetian fortress guarding Mediterranean trade routes. 20, Delos, Greece. Delos, sacred island believed to be birthplace of Apollo and Artemis. 21, Temple of Apphia, Agony. Temple of Apphia, part of a sacred triangle with Athens and Sumer. Number 22, Monastery of St. John, Patmos. Monastery of St. John the Theologian, UNESCO site linked to the Book of Revelation. Modern Europe and World War sites. Image 23, Eiffel Tower, France. Eiffel Tower, built in 1889 for the World Fair, it symbolizes industrial innovation. 24, Brandenburg Gate, Germany. Brandenburg Gate, neoclassical monument representing German unity after the Cold War. Auschwitz-Birkenau, Poland. Auschwitz-Birkenau, memorial and museum preserving the memory of Holocaust victims. Berlin Wall Memorial, Germany. Berlin Wall, a reminder of Cold War division and eventual reunification. Why Europe's historical sites matter. Europe contains over 400 UNESCO World Heritage Sites representing thousands of years of architectural evolution. These places are not only monuments but storytellers, revealing the birth of democracy in Greece, Roman engineering mastery, Islamic art in Spain, Christian Gothic cathedrals, Renaissance creativity, Industrial Revolution innovation, lessons from World War. From the prehistoric stones of England to the marble temples of Greece and the castles of Italy, Europe offers an unparalleled journey through human civilization. If you would like, from prehistory to the modern age, Europe's story stretches back over 18,000 years, evolving through prehistoric cultures, classical civilizations, empires, religious transformations, artistic revolutions, and world wars. Below is a deeper exploration of these eras and the remarkable landmarks that define them. Prehistoric and ancient Europe, c. 16,000 BC to 500 AD. Image, prehistoric Europe, the first civilizations. One of the earliest advanced cultures in Western Europe was the Magdalenian culture, c. 16,000 BC, known for cave art and stone tools across France, Germany, and Spain. These hunter-gatherers left behind artistic evidence of early human creativity. Stonehenge, built around 3000 to 2000 BC, this mysterious stone circle likely served astronomical and ceremonial purposes. Its alignment with the solstice suggests advanced prehistoric knowledge. Classical Greece, birthplace of democracy and philosophy. Ancient Greece shaped Western philosophy, drama, mathematics, and democracy. Acropolis of Athens. The Acropolis stands as a symbol of classical Greek achievement. Parthenon, dedicated to goddess Athena, representing harmony and proportion in architecture. Roman Empire, engineering and expansion. The Roman Empire, 27 BC, 476 AD, united much of Europe under one political and cultural system. Colosseum, massive amphitheater, 70 to 80 AD, hosting gladiator games. Pont du Gard, Roman aqueduct bridge demonstrating advanced engineering. Pompeii, city preserved by volcanic eruption in 79 AD. Daegu, Roman and Byzantine legacy, 353 AD image. As Rome declined, the Eastern Roman, Byzantine Empire preserved classical knowledge and Christian tradition. Hagia Sophia, built in 537 AD, it was the world's largest cathedral for nearly 1,000 years. Its dome is a masterpiece of Byzantine engineering. Venetian Castle shows layers of Byzantine and Venetian rule in the Mediterranean. Monastery of St. John the Theologian, founded in 1088, linked to the Book of Revelation. Panagia Ekatantouliani, one of the oldest Christian churches in Greece. Medieval and Renaissance Europe, 500 to 1600, image medieval period. Feudal kingdoms, crusades, Gothic cathedrals, and fortified castles define this era. Alhambra, a Moorish palace complex reflecting Islamic art and architecture in Spain. Notre Dame Cathedral, Gothic architecture with flying buttresses and stained glass. Doge's Palace, political center of the Venetian Republic. Renaissance and artistic revival. Europe rediscovered classical knowledge, leading to scientific and artistic breakthroughs. Sagrada Familia, designed by Antoni Gaudí, blending Gothic and modernist styles. Modern era World Wars, 1700 to 20th century. Image Industrial Revolution. Europe led technological and industrial growth. Eiffel Tower, built in 1889, symbolizing industrial progress and engineering innovation. World War II and division. The 20th century reshaped Europe politically and emotionally. Brandenburg Gate, symbol of German reunification after Cold War division. Auschwitz-Birkenau, memorial and reminder of the Holocaust tragedy. Sicily, a living museum of civilizations. Image Sicily reflects Greek, Roman, Arab, Norman, and Spanish influence. Valley of the Temples, 8 Greek temples in remarkable condition. Villa Romana, Roman mosaics. Mount Etna, Europe's highest active volcano. Palermo Cathedral, Arab-Norman architectural blend. Greek theater of our King, overlooking Etna and the sea. Puglia, southern Italy's hidden treasure image, truly about Arabella, conical stone houses. Lecce, known as Florence of the South for Baroque style. Ostum, the White City. Basilica di San Nicola, pilgrimage site of St. Nicholas. Castel di Monte, geometric medieval fortress. Greek islands, mythology and maritime image. Old fortress of Corfu, Venetian stronghold. Mythical birthplace of Apollo. Temple of Apphia, part of sacred triangle with Athens and Samos. Pyrgos, marble craftsmanship heritage. Why Europe's heritage is unique. Over 400 plus UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Blend of Greek, Roman, Islamic, Christian, Byzantine, and modern cultures. Architectural evolution from megalithic stones to iron towers. Living cities built upon. If you'd like, I can also turn this into.
We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun.
Geography of Spain. The history of Spain, from ancient civilizations to modern democracy. Spain's long and eventful history is the effect of many civilizations. Iberians, Celts, Romans, Visigoths, and more, each leaving behind enduring cultural, architectural, and linguistic influence. Spain transformed from a prehistoric land of tribes to the greatest empires in world history, later experiencing decline, dictatorship, and finally a return to democracy in the 20th century. Prehistoric and early civilizations. Archaeological discoveries in Spain show evidence of human habitation dating back over 1 million years. The Adam work in Spain.
Hello guys, welcome. I am admin Sunny and you're watching my YouTube official channel, Sunny's GK World, Sunny's General Knowledge World. Know about the nearby and far away world from you. This channel is established only for the promotional and educational use to the man, to the fans, to the fans who loves to know about the world and the history of the world. This is a unique channel which describes anything in long form, in the form of long videos, so that step by step my fans, my followers and my fans can understand step by step in clean ways. Today I bought this video concerning about the fact about the great country Canada. This is the story of Canada. Starting this video further, I request you all that when we are taking hard work for my fans and followers around the globe, it's your duty to click on subscribe, bell and like these 3 buttons under any one video on this channel and share the link of our groups. Also, it's your duty to follow me on Facebook page, Instagram page and on Threads. Our videos are also promoted on Dailymotions and Telegram channels also. Please search my channels and join there also. Today, I am here with the story behind a big nation, Canada. Canada's story began with the arrival of indigenous. हेलो दोस्तों, नमस्कार। आप देख रहे हैं सनीज जीके वर्ल्ड। इस चैनल पर हम आपको बहुत ही ज्ञानवर्धक चीजों के बारे में, देशों के बारे में और पर्सनालिटीज के बारे में आपको पूरी तरीके से जानकारी देने की प्रयास किया जाता है। आज के इस वीडियो में मैं आपको कनाडा के बारे में बताने जा रहा हूँ। कनाडा का इतिहास क्या रहा है। इस वीडियो को प्रारंभ करने से पहले आपसे मेरा अनुरोध है कि आप इस चैनल से सबसे पहले जुड़ जाने के लिए इस वीडियो के नीचे दिए हुए लाल रंग का वो जो सब्सक्राइब का बटन है, इसको आप दबा लें, क्लिक कर लें, बेल आइकॉन को क्लिक कर लें और लाइक बटन को दबाने के बाद इस वीडियो के लिंक को आपको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स में, अपने रिलेटिव्स, फ्रेंड्स सर्किल में के ग्रुप में शेयर कर देना चाहिए ताकि ये विशेष वीडियो उन तक पहुंच सके। ये आपका काम है और साथ में आपको फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, थ्रेड साइट्स पर भी मेरे पेज और साइट को फॉलो करना चाहिए और हमारे वीडियो डेलीमोशन चैनल्स और टेलीग्राम चैनल और व्हाट्सएप चैनल पर भी पोस्ट होते हैं, तो वहां पर भी जाकर चेक करके आप हमसे जुड़ सकते हैं। कनाडा का इतिहास स्वदेशी निवासियों, फ्रांसीसी और ब्रिटिश उपनिवेशीकरण, क्या है ये मामला, और फिर एक स्वतंत्र राष्ट्र के रूप में इसके विकास की एक महान गाथा आज हम आपके सामने प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं। इसी स्टोरी का इंग्लिश अनुवाद भी इसी चैनल पर आएगा। 1867 यानी 1867 में ब्रिटिश उत्तर अमेरिका अधिनियम के माध्यम से कनाडा का एक डोमिनियन बना और 1982 में संविधान के स्वदेशीकरण यानी पैट्रिएशंस के साथ ये पूरी तरीके से एक संप्रभु संसदीय लोकतंत्र बन गया। कनाडा का इतिहास के प्रमुख चरण क्या क्या थे? मूल निवासी और यूरोपीय खोज 15वीं शताब्दी से पहले 1600 हजारों वर्षों से स्वदेशी लोग यहाँ रह रहे थे। 1497 में जॉन कैबोट और बाद में 16वीं शताब्दी में जैक्स कार्टियर ने फ्रांस के लिए इस क्षेत्र की खोज की। न्यू फ्रांस 1600 से लेके 1763 तक यानी 1763 फ्रांस ने क्यूबेक में बस्तियां बसाई जिसे न्यू फ्रांस भी कहा जाता है। यह क्षेत्र कर के व्यापार का एक प्रमुख केंद्र बना था। ब्रिटिश शासन 1763-1867 तक 1763 में पेरिस के संधि के बाद फ्रांस ने कनाडा पर अपना नियंत्रण खो दिया और ये ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य का हिस्सा बन गया। 1791 में कनाडा को अपर यानी ओटारियो और लोअर यानी क्यूबेक कनाडा में विभाजित कर दिया गया था। अब क्या है संघ? कॉन्फेडरेशन यानी 1867 की एक गाथा है। 1 जुलाई 1867 को ब्रिटिश नॉर्थ अमेरिका एक्ट के तहत कनाडा एक डोमिनियन बना जिसमें अडो, रियो, क्यूबेक, नोवा, स्कोटिया और न्यू पैसिफिक शामिल थे। स्वतंत्रता की ओर 1931 से 1982 यानी 1931 के वेस्टमिंस्टर अधिनियम के साथ कनाडा को ब्रिटेन के बराबर का दर्जा प्राप्त हुआ था। 1982 में कनाडा ने अपने संविधान को पूरी तरीके से अपना लिया था और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एक्ट 1982 जिससे ब्रिटिश संसद से पूर्ण स्वतंत्रता मिल गई थी। आधुनिक कनाडा 1982 के बाद आज कनाडा 10वां प्रांत और 3 क्षेत्रों वाला एक बहुसांस्कृतिक संवैधानिक स्वतंत्र राज्य है जो अपनी शांति रक्षा प्रयासों के लिए जाना जाता है। अब हम लगे हाथों और भी कुछ चीजें आपको बताते चले और वो कौन कौन सी खूबसूरत जगह हैं जहां पर आप आज की डेट पर विजिट कर सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं, जान सकते हैं। लेकिन उससे पहले कुछ और चीजों पर भी अपन नजर मार लेते हैं जैसे कि मान्यता। कनाडा की स्वतंत्रता को अमेरिका की मान्यता 1927 यानी 18 फरवरी 1927 को संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका ने कनाडा को एक स्वतंत्र राज्य के रूप में मान्यता दी थी जिसके विदेश मामलों पर स्वयं नियंत्रण था। उस दिन विंसेंट मैसी ने वाशिंगटन में कनाडा के विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय पत्र प्रस्तुत किए। ये कार्रवाई 1926 के ब्रिटिश साम्राज्यवादी सम्मेलन के बाद हुई थी जिसके परिणाम स्वरूप बालफोर घोषणा पत्र जारी हुआ जिसमें कहा गया था कि यूनाइटेड किंगडम और डोमिनियन ब्रिटिश साम्राज्य के भीतर स्वयं समुदाय है जिनका दर्जा समान है।
और वह अपने घरेलू या बाहरी मामलों के किसी भी पहलू में एक दूसरे के अधीन नहीं है। क्या क्या थी राजनीतिक संबंध? राजनयिक संबंधों की स्थापना 1927 में ही हुई थी। 18 फरवरी 1927 को राजनयिक संबंध स्थापित हुए जब विंसेंट मेसी ने वॉशिंगटन में कनाडा के विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय प्राप्त पत्र प्रस्तुत किए थे। ओटावा में अमेरिकी दूतावास की स्थापना 1927। ओटावा में अमेरिकी दूतावास की स्थापना 1 जून 1927 को हुई थी, जब विलियम फिलिप्स ने विशेष दूत और पूर्ण अधिकार प्राप्त मंत्री के रूप में अपने परिचय पत्र को प्रस्तुत किया था। बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जो कनाडा से रिलेटेड है और इसी कड़ी में हम आपको बहुत ही खूबसूरत और भी नजारे दिखाते हैं। साथ साथ में आज ये जो मॉडर्न कनाडा है उसके बारे में और हम आपको थोड़ी और जानकारी देते हैं। कनाडा ऐतिहासिक स्थलों का एक समृद्ध खजाना है जो वाइकिंग्स के समय से लेकर औपनिवेशिक काल तक की कहानी बताता है। प्रमुख स्थानों में ओल्ड क्यूबेक यानी यूनेस्को स्थल, न्यू फाउंडलैंड में लॉन्स ऑक्स, विडोज एंड वाइकिंग बस्ती शामिल है और साथ में लुइसबर्ग का किला इसमें शामिल किया जाता है। ये स्थान कनाडा की फ्रांसीसी, ब्रिटिश और स्वदेशी विरासत को दर्शाते हैं। कनाडा के कुछ प्रमुख ऐतिहासिक स्थान के बारे में आज हम इस वीडियो में आपके साथ चर्चा करेंगे और हम आज आपको बताएंगे कुछ और छुपी हुए राज। ओल्ड क्यूबेक। ओल्ड क्यूबेक क्या है? ये 17वीं सदी का एक ऐसा शानदार किला रहित शहर है जो अपनी दीवारों यानी फोर्टिफिकेशंस के लिए प्रसिद्ध है, जो उत्तरी अमेरिका में एकमात्र बची हुई दीवारें हैं। लॉन्स ऑक्स मेडोज, ये न्यू फाउंडलैंड के रूप में भी माना जाता है। ये उत्तरी अमेरिका में प्रमाणित पहली नॉर्स वाइकिंग बस्ती है जो लगभग 1000 साल पुरानी है। लुइसबर्ग का किला यानी फोर्ट्रेस ऑफ लुइसबर्ग, नोवा स्कोटिया, ये 18वीं शताब्दी का एक विशाल पुनर्गठित फ्रांसीसी किला है जो उस समय के सैन्य और आर्थिक जीवन का जीवंत दृश्य प्रस्तुत करता रहता है। फोर्ट एनी क्या चीज है? फोर्ट एनी यह है नोवा स्कोटिया में कनाडा के सबसे पुराने राष्ट्रीय ऐतिहासिक स्थानों के ऊपर अगर नजर डालें तो स्थानों में से एक जो कनाडा में यूरोपीय उपनिवेशीकरण के इतिहास को दर्शाता है। प्रिंस ऑफ वेल्स फोर्ट, ये क्या है? प्रिंस ऑफ वेल्स फोर्ट हडसन बे कंपनी द्वारा 18वीं शताब्दी में निर्मित एक पत्थर का तारा आकार का एक किला है। बहुत ही खूबसूरत देखने में, हजारों पर्यटक हर साल वहां पर जाते हैं इन नजारों को देखने के लिए। ग्रीन गेबल्स हाउस, ग्रीन गेबल्स हाउस एक साहित्य प्रेमियों के लिए एक प्रसिद्ध स्थान है जो लोकप्रिय उपन्यास एनी ऑफ ग्रीन गेबल्स से जुड़ा हुआ है। सीएन टावर ये व्यक्ति एक ऐतिहासिक रूप से आधुनिक 1976 फिर भी ये कनाडा के इंजीनियरिंग विकास का एक बेमिसाल नमूना और प्रतीक के रूप में शामिल है। ऐसे शानदार जगहों पर देखने के लिए आपको कनाडा एक बार जरूर जाना चाहिए। कनाडा के इतिहास में और भी बहुत ही आकर्षित करने वाली चीजें हैं जो अब मैं आपको बताने जा रहा हूँ। कनाडा और उसका समृद्ध इतिहास। किसी देश का इतिहास
केवल पुरानी किताबों या भूले किस्से ग्रंथों में ही अभी तक माना जाता रहा है, बल्कि ये देश के हर कोने में व्याप्त है। आपको बस यही जगह ढूंढनी होगी। ये पुराना किला, सुरक्षित गली व स्मारक इस बात का प्रमाण है कि संघर्ष, विजय और दृढ़ता की कहानियां आज भी हमें आकार और आकर्षित करती रहती है। कनाडा भी इसका अपवाद नहीं है। स्वदेशी विरासत, औपनिवेशिक और विरासत और राष्ट्रीय निर्माण के महत्वपूर्ण क्षणों के मिश्रण के साथ ये एक ऐसे स्थान प्रदान करता है जहां अतीत आज भी पूरी तरीके से अपनी शान के साथ खड़ा हुआ है। इतिहास प्रेमियों के लिए ये नौ आकर्षण मंचलित या दिल बहलाने के लिए नहीं है। ये बहुत ही शानदार जगह है, जैसे कि वाटोचे सच्चे जेवान। ये क्या चीज है? ये यहाँ पर 1885 में लोगों ने अपनी आखिरी लड़ाई लड़ी थी। जमीन पर आज भी उसके निशान मौजूद हैं। चर्च की दीवारों में गोलियों के निशान, जो छेद उसमें आज भी मौजूद हैं। जमीन में राइफल के गड्ढे, कब्रें बाकी कहानी बयां करती है। पैदल चले या उसी नदी में डोंगी की सवारी करे, जिससे कभी रसद और सैनिक ले जाया जाते थे। लेकिन ये सिर्फ मैदान नहीं है, ये सामान्य में ठहर गया एक कुरुक्षेत्र यानी युद्ध क्षेत्र है। ये दिल दहलाने वाली कहानियों पर लिखा जाता है। आज का भविष्य और आने वाला समय लोगों के लिए सिर्फ मात्र घूमने का स्थान बन जाता है। जैसे कि डॉसन सिटी, यूक्रेन, इसकी भी कहानी बड़ी अजीब गरीब है। 1890 के दशक के गोल्ड रश ने इस शांत जगह को आग अराजकता में बदल दिया था और यहाँ पर मामले गंभीर हो गए थे। सोने की खोज में उमड़ पड़े लोग ऐसे सपनों को पीछा करते हुए जिन्होंने को बर्बाद कर दिया और दूसरों को समृद्ध बना दिया और खुद कंगाल हो गए। ये सब दास्तान आप देखते रहें और इस तरह की हालात, और आज एक खूबसूरत शहर, एक खूबसूरत देश जिसे कहते हैं कनाडा, आज दुनिया के सामने खड़ा हुआ है, जहां जगह जगह कोने कोने से लोग आज भी वहां पर जाकर अपना मन बहलाने का काम करते हैं। ये कोई मामूली बात नहीं है। आज कनाडा एक खूबसूरत राज्य के रूप में हमारे सामने मौजूद है और अब इसी का हम आपको इंग्लिश अनुवाद सुनाते हैं।
Indigenous, Native people, and colonial past. These sites help us understand how Canada developed culturally, politically, and historically over hundreds and even thousands of years. Some of the most famous historical landmarks include Old Quebec, L'Anse Meadows in Newfoundland, the Fortress of Louisbourg in Nova Scotia, and Parliament Hill in Ottawa. Each place represents a different part of Canada's rich history. Below is an explanation of some of the most famous historical sites in Canada. 1. Old Quebec, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Old Quebec is one of the most historic areas in Canada and is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The city has a strong European feel because of its 7th century architecture, narrow stone streets, and fortified walls. One of its most famous landmarks is the Chateau Frontenac, a grand historic hotel that overlooks the St. Lawrence River. Walking through Old Quebec feels like stepping back in time to the early days of French colonial Canada. 2. L'Anse Meadows, Newfoundland. L'Anse Meadows is extremely important historically because it is the only confirmed Viking settlement in North America. Archaeological discoveries show that Norse explorers from Scandinavia lived here around 1,000 years ago. The site contains reconstructed Viking buildings and artifacts that reveal how these early explorers lived, worked, and traveled. It provides strong evidence that Vikings reached North America long before Christopher Columbus. 3. Fortress of Louisbourg, Nova Scotia. The Fortress of Louisbourg is a large 18th century French fortress located on Cape Breton Island in Nova Scotia. During the colonial period, it was an important military and trading center. The fortress played a major role in the conflicts between France and Britain for control of North America. Today, much of the fortress has been reconstructed, and visitors can see soldiers, buildings, and daily life recreated as it was during the 1700s. 4. Parliament Hill, Ottawa. Parliament Hill is the political center of Canada. Located in the capital city of Ottawa, it is where the Canadian government and Parliament operate. The buildings are famous for their Gothic Revival architectural style, tall towers, and impressive design. One of the most recognizable features is the Peace Tower, which symbolizes Canada's national identity and democracy. 5. Canadian Museum of History, museums, restaurants, and scenic waterfront views. 8. Hatley Park, National Historic Site. Victoria Hatley Park is a beautiful historic mansion with large gardens and scenic landscapes located in British Columbia. Built in the early 20th century, the estate is now part of Royal Roads University. The site is admired for its architecture, historical significance, and natural beauty. Conclusion. These historical places provide visitors with a unique opportunity to understand Canada's cultural, political, and historical journey. From Viking settlements and Indigenous heritage to colonial forts and modern government buildings, each site tells a different story about how Canada developed into the nation it is today. Exploring these landmarks helps people appreciate Canada's diverse past and rich cultural heritage.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like this video and share this video. And the link for our channel, Instagram and Facebook, so that other fans can see your identity. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. Buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun.
Hello friends, I am Admin Sunny, owner and creator of this video and channel. Today, in this video, I post the basic and very important historical, culture, tradition and epics of beautiful country and one of my favorite country, none other than South Korea. What is the history? What are the monuments? What are the historical places you can visit in this beautiful city and one of my favorite country, you can say, after that depart from North Korea, it splits. Korea splits into two parts, North Korea and South Korea. Today, in this video, I am only discussing about South Korea. So let's begin this video, but before leaving the video or this channel, it's your duty and responsibility to hit the subscribe bell and like buttons. Why I am saying this? Because whenever we launch our new video, it is totally free. To watch that video is of great importance like this. So hit the subscribe bell and like and share the video link on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, in between your relatives and friends so that they also get benefited. And you can also watch our videos on Daily Motion channels, Telegram and WhatsApp channel. Let's begin this today's video. I am Admin Sunny. I am creating this video especially for my South Korean friends. Love you all. Let's begin.
South Korea, or the Republic of Korea, has transformed from a war-torn nation into a major developed democracy and economic power. Founded in 1948, it survived the devastating Korean War, 1950 to 53, evolving from authoritarian rule to a thriving economy and cultural powerhouse since democratic reforms in 1987. Wikipedia. Key historical phases. Ancient and colonial history. Korea has a long history, with early kingdoms like Gojoseon and the Three Kingdoms, Bish, Goguryeo, Silla, ruling the peninsula. It was colonized by Japan from 1910 to 1945. Division and War, 1945 to 1953, following Japan's defeat in World War II. The U.S. and USSR divided Korea at the 38th parallel. In 1948, the South became the ROK under Syngman Rhee, while the North was established under communist rule. The 1950 to 53 Korean War resulted in and left the peninsula divided by a demilitarized zone. Economic miracle, 1960s to 1990s under rapid modernization efforts. South Korea developed industrial conglomerates, chaebols, such as Samsung and Hyundai, turning it into a global economic leader. Democratization, 1987. Present following decades of authoritarian rule, intense public protests forced democracy, leading to direct presidential elections in 1987. Modern status. Today, South Korea is a prominent global player in technology, pop culture, K-pop/cinema, and trade. History.com. History.com. +6. Key aspects of the story. Democracy. Since 1987, South Korea has maintained a competitive electoral system. Economy. It is one of Asia's most affluent countries, moving from poverty to a top-tier economy. Cultural power. Known as the Hallyu or Korean Wave. Its culture is popular worldwide. Demographics. Over half of the population, 52 million, lives in the Seoul metropolitan area. Wikipedia. Ongoing conflict. Division. The 1953 armistice means North and South Korea are technically still at war. Keep in mind this program is specially created by singer, content creator Admin Sunny only for educational and knowledge. Use the history of South Korea begins with the Japanese surrender on 2 September 1945. At that time, South Korea and North Korea were divided, despite being the same people and on the same peninsula. In 1950, the Korean War broke out. North Korea overran South Korea until US-led UN forces intervened. At the end of the war in 1953, the border between South and North remained largely similar. Tensions between the two sides continued. South Korea alternated between dictatorship and liberal democracy. It underwent substantial economic development. South Korea to 1961, the First Republic. The First Republic, established in August 1948, adopted a presidential system, and Syngman Rhee was subsequently elected its first president. South Korea also adopted a national security law, which effectively prohibited groups that opposed the state or expressions of support for North Korea. August 1952, while the country was at war. Even before the outbreak of the Korean War, 1950 to 53, there had been a serious conflict between Rhee and the opposition-dominated National Assembly that had elected him in 1948. The dispute involved a constitutional amendment bill that the opposition introduced in an attempt to oust Rhee by replacing the presidential system with a parliamentary cabinet system. The bill was defeated, but the dispute continued at Busan, the wartime provisional capital, where the National Assembly was reconvened, when the opposition introduced another amendment bill in favor of a parliamentary cabinet system. Rhee in 1952 countered by pushing through a bill that provided for the popular election of the president. Later, in 1954, Rhee succeeded in forcing the National Assembly, then dominated by the ruling party. Under the revised constitution, Rhee ran successfully for his third term of office in May 1956. His election for the fourth time, in March 1960, was preceded by a period of tension and violence, and was followed by accusations that the election had been fraudulent. Massive student demonstrations took place that culminated in a major event on April 19th, in which many demonstrators died. Rhee resigned under pressure 6 days later and fled to exile in Hawaii, where he died in 1965 at age 90. The Second Republic. The Second Republic, which adopted a parliamentary cabinet system, lasted only 9 months. A figurehead president was elected by both houses of the legislature, and power was shifted to the office of Prime Minister Jang Mayan, who was elected by the lower house by a narrow margin of 10 votes. The Chang government made some strenuous efforts to initiate reforms. In a society laden with social and economic ills accumulated over a long period of time, however, it failed to cope with the unstable situation created by a violent political change. Rampant political factionalism only made the situation worse. With the ultimate source of authority now vested in the office of the Prime Minister, all factions, conservative and moderate, engaged in constant maneuvering to win over a group of independents in order to form a majority in the legislature. Before Chang had time to launch a full program of economic reform, the leadership of the ruling Democratic Party was crippled by factional strife within its ranks, military rule. The 1961 coup, Park Chung-hee. Park Chung-hee, South Korea's most influential 20th century leader, Park Chung-hee, in 1970. On May 16, 1961, the military seized power through a carefully engineered coup d'etat, ushering in a new phase of post-liberation Korean politics. The military junta, led by General Park Chung-hee, the government. South Korea offers a deep dive into history, blending Joseon dynasty palaces in Seoul with ancient Silla Kingdom sites in Gyeongju. Must-visit UNESCO locations include Gyeongbokgung Palace, the hilltop Bulguk Temple, and the impressive Hwasong Fortress. Other essential spots include the DMZ, Bunshan Hanok Village, and the ancient tumuli of Gyeongju. Lutakana.com. Lutakana.com. +4. Top historical places in South Korea. Gyeongbokgung Palace, Seoul, the largest and primary palace of the Joseon dynasty, featuring daily guard-changing ceremonies. Changdeokgung Palace and Secret Garden, Seoul, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, known for its harmonious integration into the natural landscape. Gyeongju Historic Areas, Gyeongju known as the Museum Without Walls. This area features Silla-era ruins, including the Gyeongseongdi Observatory and Royal Tombs. Bulguksa Temple, Gyeongju, a head temple of Korean Buddhism representing a masterpiece of Buddhist art. Hwasong Fortress, Suwon, a 5.74 kilometers long fortress surrounding the center of Suwon, built in the 18th century. Bunshan Hanok Village, Seoul, a traditional residential area with hundreds of Korean houses, Hanok, dating back to the Joseon dynasty. DMZ, Demilitarized Zone, a poignant historic site providing insight into the Korean War and modern border tensions. Jeonmyo Shrine, Seoul, a Confucian shrine dedicated to the ancestors of the Joseon dynasty. Heinsa Temple, Jangyeon Panjian. Hapshin houses the Tripitaka Koreana, the world's most comprehensive collection of Buddhist scriptures. Enong a traditional clan village from the Joseon dynasty, still inhabited by residents. Lutakana.com. Lutakana.com. +5. Key tips for historic site visitors. Hanok rentals. Many visitors wear traditional hanbok, Korean outfits, which provides free entry all 16 World Heritage sites in South Korea. Tracing more than 2,000 years of history, the South Korean World Heritage sites are found from big cities to remote forests and take you through the country's most important eras. Changdeokgung Palace Complex, Jeonmyo Shrine, Royal Tombs of the Joseon Dynasty, Namonsansi, Hwasong Fortress, Gyeongju Historic Areas, Sukagurung Grotto and Bulguksa Temple, Heinsa Temple, Historic Villages of Korea, Haho and Yongdong, Sansa, Buddhist mountain monasteries in Korea, CO1, Korean Neo-Confucian academies, Beach Historic Areas, Gochang, Hwasun and Gangwon sites, Ipol, Korean tidal flats, Jeju volcanic island and lava tubes. Gaia tumuli. When most people, myself included, think of Korean history, they think of the past century. The Japanese occupation, the Korean War, the separation of North and South. These are all parts of the story that we are more familiar with. Not surprisingly, though, none of South Korea's World Heritage sites are related to this period or these events. In fact, they almost seem carefully curated to showcase the long, proud history of the peninsula that came before the recent and undignified events. And there's a lot of heritage to talk about, from the states that ruled the land in ancient times to the three main kingdoms that dominated in the first millennium, the rise of Buddhism in a united peninsula, and then the period of kings that have left the biggest mark on modern Korea. When it comes to the World Heritage Sites of South Korea, there's not much emphasis on nature, despite the country having some impressive national parks. Of its 15 sites on the World Heritage list, only 2 of them are natural, and one of those is not even particularly spectacular to look at. Traveling around South Korea, the World Heritage Sites are actually a really good way to learn about the country's history, and I would recommend visiting quite a few of them. Cheonggyeokgung Palace Complex. Nestled in the heart of Seoul, the Cheonggyeokgung Palace Complex is a must-see for any traveler with an interest in Korean history and culture. This stunning palace complex was built in the 15th century and served as the seat of power for the Joseon dynasty. As you walk through the palace's beautiful gardens, it's easy to see why it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The landscape is meticulously designed, with manicured lawns, ponds, and walkways that wind through ancient trees and shrines. Once you enter the palace itself, you'll be transported back in time to an era of grandeur and opulence. The intricate architecture of the palace's buildings is a sight to behold, with sweeping roofs and ornate carvings adorning every surface. One of the highlights of visiting Cheonggyeokgung Palace is the Secret Garden, a sprawling green space that was once reserved for the royal family's private use. It's a peaceful oasis in the heart of the bustling city, and a great place to unwind after a day of sightseeing. Overall, the Cheonggyeokgung Palace complex is a true gem of Seoul and a testament to rich cultural heritage. It's definitely worth taking the time to explore this stunning complex and learn more about the fascinating history of this incredible country. Jeonggyo Shrine. Jeonggyo Shrine is a Confucian shrine dedicated to the memory of the deceased kings and queens of the Joseon dynasty. Located in Seoul, it was built in 1394 and rebuilt in 1601 after a fire. It is the oldest and most authentic of the Confucian royal shrines to have been preserved. There are 2 important halls you'll see when you visit Jeonggyo Shrine. The main hall, called the Gyeongjin, houses 49 spirit tablets of kings and queens, while the Yeongnyeongjin has 34 of them. Set within parklands, there are a few other things to see in the shrine complex. Royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty. The royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty are a group of 40 tombs located in the cities of Seoul and Gyeonggi. These tombs were built for the members of the Joseon dynasty, which ruled Korea from 1392 to 1910. The tombs were built in accordance with Confucian principles, which emphasize the importance of respecting one's ancestors. The tombs are surrounded by beautiful landscapes and are designed to blend in with the natural surroundings. They are also adorned with various sculptures and decorations, including stone bridges, pavilions, and gates. The tombs are also home to various artifacts and relics, including pottery, weapons, and clothing, which provide insight into the lives of the Joseon dynasty. The royal tombs of the Joseon dynasty were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2009. They are considered to be one of the most important historical and cultural sites in South Korea and attract visitors from all over the world. Namdaesan. Namdaesan is a fortress city located in Gyeonggi Province, South Korea. It was built during the 17th century to protect the capital city of Seoul from foreign invasions. The fortress is situated on a mountain ridge and is surrounded by steep walls that are up to 12 meters high. The fortress was designed to be self-sufficient and has many features that allowed it to function as a city. It has 4 gates, 3 main palaces, and many other buildings, including temples, shrines, and military facilities. The fortress also had a system of water supply, with wells and reservoirs that could hold up to 1 million liters of water.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you love this video. Before leaving the video, I request you once again to hit the subscribe button and like the video and share this video link and the link of the channel on WhatsApp group, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so that other can the same knowledge as you got. Thank you so much. Keep loving the world and keep supporting. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Intensely YouTuber. I am Intensely making disclaimer from my side that this is the video I have created only for educational and promotional use so that visitors A fan in peace, oh Norht, for the world. Excellent to the studio, man.
The United States of America, with its rich and diverse history, is home to an extraordinary array of historical sites that tell the story of the nation's past. From grand national monuments to preserved battlefields and humble homes of great leaders, each place provides a unit of the cultural, political, and social evolution of the country. Administered and preserved in large part by the National Park Service, NPS, these historical landmarks not only educate, but also inspire millions of visitors each year. National Landmarks and Monuments. Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, New York. Perhaps the most iconic symbol of American freedom. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France in 1886 and stands as a beacon for liberty and democracy. Located in New York Harbor, it has welcomed millions of immigrants arriving in the United States. Just nearby is Ellis Island, which served as the busiest immigration inspection station from 1892 to 1954. Over 12 million immigrants passed through here, making it a deeply emotional and historical location for many American families. Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. This massive sculpture carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota features the faces of 4 U.S. presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. Mount Rushmore represents the ideals of freedom, democracy, and the American dream. It was completed in 1941 after 14 years of work and remains a popular destination for both its artistry and symbolic significance.
ये लंबी वाली बहुत
Lincoln
बेकार है इसको
Memorial and Washington Monument, Washington,
काम
D.C.
करेंगे
The Lincoln Memorial, with its grand Greek temple design and a giant seated statue of Abraham Lincoln, commemorates